Hello, my dear students. So, I am here to discuss with you all today about chapter number 4, Human Settlement. And I will be giving you some basic information about what do we mean by human settlement as well as the types of rural settlement. Okay. So, basically, in this chapter, the main things which will be discussed are the different types of human settlement and its characteristics. Okay. So let us proceed to the discussion. Human settlement, or what is human settlement? Human settlement means the cluster of dwellings of any type or size where the human beings live actually. Okay. So what is human settlement? Human settlement means a cluster of the dwellings, okay, where the human beings they live. And this cluster of dwellings can be of any type or size. It can be big, it can be small, it may comprises of few houses, even it may comprises of hundreds of houses and more. Okay. So as people, okay, they settle in different areas. Okay, they settle in different areas, and in that areas, okay, they earn their livelihood. Okay. So basically, people may erect houses and other structures and command some area or territory as the economic support base. Okay, so these human settlements or the cluster of dwellings, okay, in this cluster of dwellings, the people they erect houses, that means they construct the houses, okay, and the other structures, okay, and they command and they have a command over some territory of that particular area from where they earn their livelihood actually. Okay. Thus, the process of human settlement inherently involves the grouping of the people and apportioning of territory as their resource base. Okay. So, human settlement in simple terms is the particular area where the human houses are there, where the human beings has constructed their houses for living and for and from that particular area to earn their livelihood actually. Okay. See, the human settlements they may vary in type and size. Okay, as I said, the human settlement they may vary in size or type, and even they may range from as small as a hamlet to as big as the metropolitan cities. With the size, the economic character and social structure of the settlement changes, and so do its ecology and the technology. Okay. So with the size of the human settlement, the economic characteristics and the social structure changes. Okay, as well as the ecology, that is the environment, and the technology, okay, is also changed depending upon the type of the and the size of the human settlement. The settlements could be very small and sparsely spaced, and even they may also be large and closely spaced. Okay, so basically, the human settlement they can be very small, only consisting of few houses which are not closely spaced. Okay, and even there may be human settlements which are very large, consisting of many houses and which are closely spaced. The gap between one house to another is not there actually. Okay. Such settlements may exist actually. Okay, so it may be very small, it may be very large as well. Basically, the human settlements which are sparsely located, okay, the human settlements which are sparsely located and are small are called the villages. Okay, are called the villages, and here the main occupation of the people is the agriculture or the other primary activities. Okay. Whereas on the other hand, there are few human settlements which are very large. Okay, there are few human settlements which are very bigger in size and are known as the urban settlements, where the main occupation of the people are the secondary and the tertiary activities. Okay, so depending upon the size, the human settlement can be categorized into two types. One is the villages or the rural areas where the houses are not closely located. Okay, and the main economic activity of these areas are agriculture and the other primary activities. Okay, whereas there are few very large human settlements where houses are very closely built up, big houses are there, structures are there. Okay, and the main occupation of this particular area is the secondary and the tertiary activities. Okay, so these are the two main types of human settlement on the basis of their size. Okay, that is the villages or the rural areas and the urban areas. Okay. See, what are the basic differences between this rural settlement and the urban settlement, or the villages and the cities? See, the basic differences between the rural and the urban settlement are as follows. Okay, the rural settlements, they derive their life support or basic economic needs from land-based primary economic activities. Okay, so people living in the rural areas or in the rural settlements, they earn their livelihood, okay, from the land-based economic activities. Okay, from the land-based primary economic activities. It may be agriculture. Okay, it may be animal rearing. It may be fishing. Okay, etc. Whereas the urban settlements depend on processing of the raw materials and manufacturing of finished goods on one hand and a variety of services on the other. Okay. Whereas on the other hand, the urban settlement, that is the towns and the cities, the main occupation of the people, okay, are the service and the service sector or in the secondary sector, where the people are engaged in the processing of the raw materials, okay, manufacturing of the finished goods, and various services are being provided actually. See, so now I am going to discuss about the types of the rural settlement. So before I discuss about the types of the rural settlement, first of all, we must discuss that what are the factors, okay, which are responsible for the formation of rural settlement actually. See, types of the settlement are determined, okay, by the extent of the built up area and interhouse distance. So the types of the settlement, whether rural or urban, it can be determined by the extent of the built up area, means the area which is used for construction, and the interhouse distance, the distance between two houses. Okay, so basically, in case of rural settlement, there are various factors and conditions, okay, which are responsible for having different types of rural settlement in India. Okay, and these various factors and conditions can be categorized into three main groups. First one is the physical factor, second was the cultural and the ethnic factor, and the third one is the security factor. Okay, these are the three main factors because of which the various types of rural settlements has been formed actually. Okay, physical features. Under physical features, the nature of the terrain, the altitude of the place, the climate, and the availability of water are the main factors which influences the types of rural settlement. The cultural and the ethnic factors. In the cultural and the ethnic factors, the social structure, the caste and the religion, it plays a very important role in determining the type of the rural settlement. And in the security factors, defense against thefts and robberies also plays a very vital role in determining the type of the rural settlement. Okay, so these are the three different factors actually which influences the types of the rural settlement: physical factors or the physical features, the cultural and the ethnic features, and the security factors. See, so depending upon that three factors, the rural settlements can be classified into four different categories: the clustered or the agglomerated or nucleated settlement, semi-clustered or fragmented settlement, hamleted settlement, and dispersed or isolated settlement. These are the four different types of rural settlement found in our country. And now we are going to discuss about these four different types of rural settlement in details. Okay, so let us proceed with the clustered or the agglomerated settlement. See, the clustered settlement. The clustered rural settlement is a compact or closely built up area of houses. So the clustered rural settlement is a compact, closely built up area or houses. Okay, in the rural areas, there are some rural areas where many houses are located very close to each other. Okay, and they appear compact in nature. Such type of rural settlement are known as the clustered settlement, okay, or the agglomerated settlement. In this type of village, the general living area, okay, in this kind of village, the general living area is distinct and it is separated from the agricultural land, okay, from the farm, barns, and the pastures. The closely built up area and its intervening streets, okay, as because the houses are very closely built up, okay, so the closely built up area and its intervening streets, they present some recognizable pattern or geometric shape. Okay, so the clustered rural settlements can be of rectangular shape, it can be of radial shape, linear shape, circular shape, etc. Okay, so basically, clustered settlement means, okay, the clustered rural settlement means a rural settlement where many houses are very closely located, okay, and the houses are located little bit far from the agricultural lands, where the streets, okay, they have some particular pattern, rectangular, radial, or the linear pattern actually, okay. The next one, that is the semi-clustered settlement. Okay, the semi-clustered settlement or the fragmented settlements may result from tendency of clustering in a restricted area of dispersed settlement. Okay, so the semi-clustered settlements or the fragmented settlement, they may have been formed because of the tendency of the clustering, okay, because of the tendency of the formation of the human settlements in some restricted areas. Okay, more often, such a pattern may also result from segregation or fragmentation of a large compact village, and moreover, such kind of semi clustered settlement may have been formed because of the fragmentation of a large village. Okay, maybe the large village has been fragmented because of some natural factors, maybe because of the agricultural land, or maybe by the rivers, or maybe by the some of the hilly areas and also. Okay, in such cases, generally the land owning and the dominant community occupies the central part of the main village, whereas the people of the lower strata of society and menial workers, they settle on the outer flanks of the village. Okay. So in case of the semi-clustered settlement, okay, the central part of the village is occupied by the land owning community, by the dominant community. Okay, whereas the people who belong to the lower strata, okay, who are the agricultural laborers and all, they basically are settled outskirt of the village, actually, in the outer areas of the village. Okay, such kind of semi-clustered settlements are widespread in the Gujarat plains and some parts of Rajasthan. Okay, and this kind of semi-clustered settlements can be found in the Gujarat plains of Gujarat and in some parts of Rajasthan. Okay, the next one is the hamleted settlement. The hamleted settlement is fragmented due to several units physically separated from each other. Okay, they are separated physically from each other. And the hamleted settlements are known by different local names: Panna, Para, Palli, Nagla, Dhani, etc. Okay, these are the different local names by which the hamleted settlements are known in various parts of the country actually. Okay, this segmentation of a large village is often motivated by the social and the ethnic factors. So basically the social and the ethnic factors, they play a very vital role in the formation of the hamleted settlement. Okay, so people of some particular race or religion, they prefer to settle together. Okay, so in a very large area we may find that few houses, okay, are located in particular area where the people, they belong to same caste, occupation and all. Okay, such villages are more frequently found in the middle and the lower Ganga plains, okay, in Chhattisgarh and the lower valleys of the Himalayas. The hamleted settlements can mainly be found. Okay. The next one is the dispersed settlement or the isolated settlement. See, dispersed settlement and hamleted settlement are quite similar. In case of hamleted settlement, the number of houses are few, but in case of dispersed settlement, the number of houses are very less. Okay. Dispersed or the isolated settlement pattern in India appears in the form of isolated huts or hamlets of few huts in remote jungles or on small hills with farms or pasture on the slope. Okay, so basically the dispersed or the isolated settlement, okay, they may have been formed in the remote jungle areas, in the hilly areas, or in the agricultural areas and all. Okay, where only few houses are there. Okay, only few houses, maybe 4 5 houses are there. Okay, basically here we can take an example of the forest village. In the forest village, what happened, few houses are there and they are very located away from the one village to another actually. Okay, so dispersed settlements are one. Okay, so basically in those forested areas, okay, dispersed settlements are mainly found. Extreme dispersion of settlement is often caused by extremely fragmented nature of the terrain and land resource base of the habitable areas. And this kind of dispersion, of settlement may also be caused by the fragmented nature of the terrain. Okay, because of the fragmented nature of the landform. Like basically in the hilly areas does not support construction of many houses together. Okay, so basically what happens, we see few houses located in one side of the valley, and again the people has to travel for few kilometers, again few houses are there. So that are some examples of the dispersed settlement actually. Many areas of Meghalaya, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and Kerala have this type of settlement. So, basically, in the hilly areas of Meghalaya, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and in the forested areas of Kerala, this kind of dispersed settlements can be found. Okay. So, this is word about the different types of rural settlement, okay, found in our country. Okay. So, here today we discussed about settlement. What do we mean by settlement? The basic difference between the rural and the urban settlement, as well as the factors affecting the distribution of rural settlement or the formation of rural settlement, and also the types of rural settlement in India. Okay, so I hope you all are clear about this, and you have understood properly. So thank you, my dear students.